Page 324, Dorian Mode. Ooh. Well, again, let's go back to C major. Dorian Mode is simply built on the second step. And I remember it because Dorian starts with a D, and the second step of C major is a D. So I remember it that way, Dorian Mode. And it's all white keys. So normally this would be 2 sharps in D major. So what we've done is we've lowered the 3rd step and we've lowered the 7th step. Or we've simply taken 2 sharps away, or we've added 2 flats. It's the same difference. So we've taken 1 flat away or added a sharp. We've taken 1 sharp away or added a flat. Now we're into 2 of them. So there's 2 sharps taken away or 2 flats added. D Dorian is here. We've taken these away. Transpose these, A Dorian. Well, A Dorian has 3 sharps. If I take 2 sharps away, and I got to do it in order now. Remember, sharps have an order. G major and C major. So now it's just 1 sharp. So A Dorian has 1 sharp. Yeah. E Dorian is here somewhere. I don't know. 4 sharps. Well, if I take 2 sharps away, and you always do the last sharps, D sharp is the last one, and G sharp is the last one. So now I end up with 2 sharps, F and C. That is an E Dorian, because it started on E, and it's got 2 sharps instead of 4, because a major scale has 4. I took 2 away. Then C Dorian is here. So here I'm going to take 2 sharps away or add 2 flats. Well, that would be a B flat and an E flat. In other words, I lowered the 3rd step, I lowered the 7th step. That's all we're doing, because that's what we're doing here. We have this, I lower the 3rd step, I lower the 7th step. That's what we're doing here. So Dorian. We're taking 2 sharps away or adding 2 flats to the major scale pattern. Changes the pattern of whole steps and half steps, because this, let's go back to D, because it's all white keys. You can see it's whole, half, whole, half, whole. That's the pattern for Dorian Mode. Whatever key. Start on any key and use that pattern, you get a Dorian Mode. And notice we don't say Dorian Major or Dorian Minor. There's no such animal as far as I know of. Dorian is Dorian. Yeah. Okay. Then they want you to do the triads. So we're going back to D Dorian. So it's just the white keys. And again, you're just doing the triads diatonically up the keyboard. That's all that is. That's how you do that. At the bottom of the page, last line down there here, inversions. Hopefully those last 2 measures or so, the last 3 measures, last 4 measures, last something, you know what all those notes are. The names of those notes, so it's easy to figure out because it's the broken C chord. But you need to know the names of all those chords. Now, I don't memorize it 4 ledger lines because I can't look at it and see that there are 4. I get confused. What are there? Is there 5, 4, 5? How many are there? And when I do that, I have to stop and figure it out. But 3 ledger lines, I can see that. I can tell there's 3 ledger lines just by glancing at it. And so that I memorize. However, here you can figure it out because you're just using a C scale or a C chord in inversion. Simple enough. You do it however you want to. They want you to do A Dorian and G Dorian. Well, A Dorian, remember here. Guess you got to come down here. I don't know where you're coming. Here. You should do it in both hands. And remember, in A Dorian here, we're taking 2 sharps away. So we take that away and that away. So A Dorian only has 1 sharp in it. So you just play those notes in the scale. It's here. You gotta have F sharps. Up to A. Just stick with the notes within that Dorian mode. D Dorian, is it D? G Dorian, excuse me. G Dorian is here. G major has 1 sharp. Well, we got to take 2 sharps away or add 2 flats. Well, here we're going to take 1 sharp away and we're going to add 1 flat. Same difference. So that's G Dorian. So it would have one flat and a key signature, and you're going to use these notes then for the chords here. B flats. G Dorian. Okie dokie? Okie dokie. If you have questions on this, feel free to ask your teacher.